Well, me, 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 me.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yes, you weren't. I got you off guard. I gotta keep you on your toes. What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of the D-Pad Connect podcast. As always, I am your host, George, alongside Brandosian, Explosions, Brandini, Super Houdini. I don't know what to call you, man. I'm just making up names now. What else do I call you?
They call me
El Brandon, which is Spanish. El Brandon.
Yeah. I'm not creating enough on the spot.
No, I'm not either. So as you can see, I just kept giving you in different iterations of your name. But anywho, I think you guys get the gist. I'm here with Brandon, my co-host, my right-hand man, the guy that is always in the driver's seat when it comes to editing, because I cannot edit if it depended on my life. So I thank God for Brandon for being here. So Brandon, thank you for joining me for another week. But before we get into any of today's topics, of course, if you're watching this, that means you're watching us on youtube.com, where you can like, share, and subscribe. I recommend it. You know, we're not trying to be famous or popular or anything like that, but it'll be pretty cool to have some sort of fans, like, you know, that random person in the corner of the internet that nobody knows. We'll recognize you. We're pretty small. Yeah. We can say hi to you all the time, every week.
We can relate.
Exactly. So if you're watching on YouTube, just make sure you're like, sharing, and subscribing. And if you're listening to us, you can always find our podcast on anchor.fm or anchor.com. And that is where it is uploaded week by week while we record. I know that our schedule has been kind of shoddy, and I'll get to that in just a bit. But anchor.fm, and then you can also find us on Spotify under D-Pad Connect and Google Podcasts. So those are the three easiest places to find our audio format podcast. And if you have us on Facebook, or if you liked our page, then we always post a link for both the YouTube and the podcast itself on there. So even though the YouTube video is technically the podcast, but audio format and video format are both uploaded link wise. So yes. Good to know, right, Brandon?
Yes, excellent to know.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So as far as our schedule goes, once again, guys, we do this for fun. We do it because we love it, but sometimes life just gets in the way, and life has been getting in the way quite often lately. So we are a little bit behind on our scheduling, but nonetheless, I think today was the perfect day to record, especially given some of the news that has come forth. Not that we're like subject matter experts. Mm-hmm. What would that abbreviation be, Brandon? Subject matter experts. SMEs.
Yeah.
We're not semis.
We're not SMEs.
SMEs, there you go. We're not. That's a good one. Brandon. Well, that's what I'm going to use now. So Brandon has coined the new term SMEs. So we are not SMEs, yes, but we love games. So we'll go ahead and talk about it anyway, even if you like it or not. You can't control me. You can't stop me.
Yeah. For shizzle.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good one. Oh, man. I can only imagine all the editing that's going to go into this, and you're going to just like put random stuff at those moments.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what
we do.
Because I never know until the moment I'm editing.
There you go. Whatever you feel in your gut, right? But guys, thank you once again for being with us. Today's topics are pretty simple and to the point, but I want to talk to Brandon about some Pokemon conversations we've actually had this week. And I also want to talk about the biggest news. If you're watching whenever this uploads, today's date is actually January 18th. And January 18th is now a day marked in video game history where my daughter walks into the room and interrupts my podcast. So, you know,
hey, daughter.
Just for fun, yeah, just the life of a father. Yeah. Yes, Kelly. We resume, yes, just like having magic powers. January 18th, probably going to be one of the biggest days in gaming, where Microsoft has officially bought or has declared their intent, which is pretty much it's a done deal, but not until 2023. They have them up to 2023 to kind of finalize the deal, but we're not going to talk about all those logistics and stuff. We just want to talk about the games. Yeah. But they have officially announced that they are buying Activision Blizzard, the owners of IPs, which is I forgot what IPs is abbreviated for, but anyway, IPs such as Call of Duty, such as World of Warcraft, such as Diablo, which we at D-Pad love a lot.
Oh, Diablo, yes.
Such as Overwatch, such as Candy Crush, which I don't know how that's still around, but it's still around. Yeah, it's still around.
Oh.
It's still around. This is where you put the video of us getting old, Brandon, because Candy Crush, man.
Well, I should actually probably know that because my mother plays it every day. And she's like, it's just so funny because she's so hooked on it. And it just brings me back to when I was young, and she's telling me like, "Stop! Like you're too hooked on video games." And I was like, "Well, the shoe's on the other foot now."
Yeah, ha!
Yeah, now you're addicted.
You like your candy bonbons, and you like matching the three of them, and you like getting rid of them on that screen, and you hear the pew pew. Exactly. But yes, Candy Crush was in there, and then obviously Toys for Bob, which they were responsible for the Spyro the Dragon remakes that came out recently.
Oh yeah,
and they were also responsible for Crash Bandicoot, the reboots that came out for that.
I like those.
Yeah, they were really good games, really fun platformers. So, with that being said, quite a lot to talk about. And I'm going to have some questions regarding Microsoft and Xbox for you because I know that I have owned Xbox consoles in the past and I currently own one now. I'm still waiting for a Series X, but we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
But I do own one, and I know that you've never really owned one. We kind of talk about it here and there, but well, I guess we'll have to see when we get to that conversation. So let's go ahead and start the show really quickly, Brandon, with what have you... You know what? We'll skip the what have you been watching and playing today, just for today.
Okay.
Because really I haven't been playing much, but...
Yeah, I was going to say same thing for me.
Yeah, same thing. And watching, just on and off, just random stuff. I watched a documentary on Michael Jordan.
I watched Wreck-It Ralph just because I felt like it.
Hey man, I think that beats Michael Jordan any day. Which one did you watch? Wreck-It Ralph 1 or Wreck-It Ralph Rex? I said Wex. Wex the internet. He Wex it. He Weck it.
Oh, no, I watched the first one. The second one was trash.
Yeah, second one wasn't that great.
No.
Yeah, no, the first one was definitely better. I really appreciated the nostalgia and I appreciated the message behind it, but I also really enjoyed King Candy a lot.
Yeah, he was hilarious, and I'll be honest, I didn't see that twist coming out of nowhere. It's probably not
spoiler
a spoiler
alert. He was Turbo. No, not spoiler alert at all. Come on, that movie's been out forever. Yeah, he was Turbo. That was funny. That was pretty cool. Turbo was creepy looking though.
Yeah, he was freaky looking. Like he looked like a skeleton.
I think that was just as creepy as when King Candy turned into that crazy insect thing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes. Yeah, those were. I think my favorite scene will be he was like, "You're not gonna hit a guy with glasses, right?" And then he picks up his glasses and hits him with them. He's like, "Oh, I see what you did there. You hit a guy with glasses with my own glasses."
Yeah.
All right. Now we're going down distraction lane over here. But Brandon, the other day, I begged you for some Pokemon because my Pokemon Shield copy had been deleted for like the third time, right? So I was hurting, I was crying, and you came in to save me. And then recently, last podcast, we talked about playing Shining Pearl, which we both played the same version. And you spoke a little bit about how the game sucked. I'm kidding. You didn't say sucked specifically, but we did talk about a lot of our gripes. And then for you, being in the shiny hunting community, being a master of that, it really got you upset. So as we talked about it, I realized, and this is for you guys watching, this is a very random Pokemon conversation. This is just something I wanted to talk to Brandon about. But I figured, hey, why not record it? Make it a podcast. So for me, playing Shield again makes me realize that I think I really jumped the gun on thinking Shield wasn't that good. Especially when you fight Shieldbert and Eggbert and Speedbert and all the Berts. And then how suddenly Hop gets super strong at the end. You remember that? We talked about that?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Like the difficulty spike he's not that difficult. You can beat him, but I'm saying, what? You sucked the whole game. How do you just all of a sudden get good?
Yeah.
So, my thing is, now that we've both played Shining Pearl and the last game before Arceus, which we'll talk about in a bit, being Pokemon Sword and Shield, how do you feel about it in retrospect? Looking back.
About Sword and Shield?
Yeah, in comparison to like Pearl or BDSP.
Yeah. So honestly, it's weird because when Diamond and Pearl first, or not, BDSP first came out, it was at that point where it was like, okay, I'm ready for a new Pokemon experience. I'm ready to look at something different at this point.
Yeah.
And it was great at first because my favorite generation is, I'm looking at something different. Even though it took me 5 weeks to start the game because I was looking for Piplup for 5 weeks.
We don't talk about that part of the game, Brandon. No, we don't want to bring up those old memories and that painful moment.
Yeah. Although it was a painful moment, but it felt like it was all worth it, sort of. Yeah. In the end.
Yeah.
But just going back to Sword after like yesterday, even just doing the trades, it was like I forgot how actually superior this game is over Diamond and Pearl. Not the original Diamond and Pearl, but the remakes. And it's just I honestly don't know if Game Freak will, because I know apparently a lot of people in the Pokemon community have the same feelings towards just how laggy and buggy BDSP has been since launch. So I'm kind of wondering if Game Freak is ever going to let Ilka do any other games besides just updating Pokemon Home or something in the future, or if they just like kind of give them some direction next time, or whatever they can do to alleviate this experience that they've befallen on the Pokemon players.
Well, it certainly befell me. Certainly befell me, sir.
Yeah.
It's funny because just jumping off what you're talking about with Shield, right? Funny enough, I forgot to tell you this yesterday. I unlocked the bike by mistake. So
really?
There was a glitch. I was hunting the Rookity that I was trying to get at the hidden ability. Yeah. And before I gave up, I somehow hit the minus button and it activated the bike for like a brief moment, even though I didn't have the bike or even have spoken to anybody to get the bike at all.
Really?
Yeah, it was actually pretty funny. I was like, oh, this must be a glitch. I wonder how you glitch it to actually work.
Yeah.
But imagine if I was in the middle of the ocean and it just stopped working and I was just stuck there.
I know. He just drowned and then the game was over.
Like, well, I guess this game's broken.
It's like you white it out forever. We'll restart the game.
Forever. Please trade in your copy at the nearest GameStop. We're on a roll today, Brandon. We're doing good. So for me, it was like even asking you for all these Pokemon, and then I've been rewatching. Shout out to Mystic Umbreon and M&J Plays or M&J TV. I don't know if you watch both of them, Brandon.
I know I've heard them. Community.
Okay. Well, I like them a lot just because they have a lot of top 10 videos and breakdowns.
Yeah.
And also M&J TV's Grunty Boy, which is the Team Rocket guy he plays, is pretty funny.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. So shout out to both of them. I've actually become pretty big fans. But it's funny because I'm watching all these videos and watching all these different things and just trying to look at like what the best top team is with just the new Pokemon in the game, and I realized that I have most of them except for like I didn't pick. I guess Barraskewda is pretty popular in the water with the water Pokemon there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can go ahead and say your opinion. I mean, apparently he's for like a new water Pokemon, he's pretty good.
Oh yeah, but, that's true.
Yeah. Because I know Mystic Umbreon usually in his videos he tells you that these moves are good all across the board, so that competitive play and taking care of a lot of people. But for me, I just like kind of just running through the game of Pokemon I like.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I rarely ever go for new Pokemon besides whoever the starter is.
Yeah.
And then maybe some other ones like Corviknight is one of my favorite bird Pokemon now. He's one of top. He's up there.
Oh yeah, Corviknight.
And then yeah, he is. He really is. I really enjoy him. He's like, and next video, Brandon, maybe we could talk about our favorite Pokemon from each generation. Like maybe like one or three from each generation, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe 5, maybe more. But I'm playing those games and I'm playing Shield and I'm just like, oh look, I'm not getting trapped in a corner trying to run around with the joystick. Oh look, I'm actually, I don't know, just enjoying the experience again. And it's weird because for Shield, when I first played it, it was more like I eventually got to the point where I just wanted to beat it. Yeah. And then when I had to fight Shieldbert and Egbert, which I keep making fun of their names. Those are not their names. There's Siegbert and I forget the other one, but
it's like Swordbert and Shieldbert, like Sword and Shield.
Yeah, Sword and Shield, which is pretty dumb game. Come on, guys.
Yeah, that was really like pretty cringy.
Yeah, that was pretty cringy. Also, those guys were just pretty cringy in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, I whooped both of them. I enjoyed whooping them. The one that got me annoyed was Hop.
Oh yeah, it was just annoying with that because you had to do the post game and do the Swordbert Shieldbert stuff in order to catch the legendary.
Yes,
that was kind of annoying, but yeah, whatever.
Well, there was that, and then the fact that Hop gets the other legendary. I was like, no, you didn't work hard enough. Get out of here. Oh, yeah. Get the legendary. Get out of here.
That's true.
You need to fight me with that thing. And that's the only reason I would lose, because he'd randomly pull Zacian out because I had Shield, or I have Shield.
That's right.
And he'd just like try to KO my Pokemon in like one hit. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I'm like, this guy was horrible the whole time.
Yeah, Zacian is like OP compared to Zamazenta.
Yes, he is. An Iron Defense and whatever defense Shield mode brings, it does nothing. You will get destroyed by Zacian. Yeah, so he was definitely the better of the two, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he would just run through, and I'm just like, I'm gonna kick this guy in the face. I really am. But I do have some other moves that I'm gonna look into, because I think for some reason I kept, and we're going on a rabbit hole now, but it doesn't matter. I kept double kick on my Cinderace for some reason instead of just getting low sweep, which is in the overworld.
Oh, okay,
yeah. So like I didn't get a good fighting move. I left him with double kick, which is a week after he evolves into Cinderace.
Yeah.
So yeah. So but nonetheless, I digress. But playing Shield and then thinking about BDSP, it's just like, man, night and day. So I really hope Ilka, as my daughter busts in for the second time into the room, did I not tell you what was happening?
You did. You called it.
Did I not tell you? Hi. I'm really in the middle of a podcast right now. I'm like recording something.
So, you both have new backgrounds.
Yes, I'm glad. Yeah.
So, Brandon has a new one, and you have a new one.
Yeah, you need to go to bed.
So, how did you do that?
Magic. Sorry, brother.
You're totally fine.
Bye, baby. Love you.
I love it.
So give me 2 seconds. I gotta go lock that door.
No problem.
All right. So I don't even know where we left off. This is a very organic podcast today. So Shield, I misjudged it, is what I'm trying to say. And going back to BDSP, I really don't have any desire to play that unless I'm transferring Pokemon into whatever new Pokemon we get. You know, like at that point, that's why I'm trying to beat these. The one game I have to go back to, which I've kind of gained more curiosity for, is Let's Go, because even though it was simplistic, I don't know, there was something about it that really just calls back to me.
Yeah, it's very well, the thing I liked about it was the overworld Pokemon encounters and stuff, and the one thing I will say I didn't like too much about it was how you couldn't do wild encounter battles anymore. It was just you encounter and then you just catch.
Yeah,
that's one thing I didn't really like about it too much, but you know, it didn't really kill it for me.
No, and you realize that you end up getting experience because they make you catch all those Pokemon, and your infinite boxes in your PC are like infinite pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can catch everything you want. And it was easier for shiny hunters, right? Just to kind of get a streak going, I'm assuming.
Yeah, because with that one, it was, what was it? You had to catch 31 of the same Pokemon to get that catch bonus going. And once it was at a chain, once it was at a catch chain of 31, the chances increased. But they also increased the spawn of that Pokemon to come. So it's a good chance you'll get something that you're hunting for. But freaking Chansey and Pidgey always shine first when you're not even looking for them every single time.
Yep, that's the same story I've heard from all the people in the shiny hunting community. Is Pidgey, and then Chansey has been like just Just a pain in the side.
Just a eggplant.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was trying to make an egg pun.
Stupid green egg, because she's green, right? I think the shiny's green or something.
Yeah, it's green. And then, like, for some reason, Blissey and... What's the first one? Happini. They both barely look any different from the regular shinies, or from the regular Pokemon, which is weird. I don't know why Chansey's the special one.
It's funny, because Chansey, it seems like she gets smaller when she turns into Blissey.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can see it. I was trying to picture
just the shape of it and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not gonna subscribe. I'm not gonna place, like, forgive me guys, but I'm not gonna call it fat, because that's not a proper term for it. I'm just saying it looks different, like
chubby.
Like it's chubby, like pleasantly plump. I don't know what to say,
yeah.
but yeah, Blissey. I don't know. It's just never really attracted me, because Happini and Blissey look much more like, man, we're going on a complete nerdy Pokemon talk right now.
Yeah.
But anywho, guys, I want to try Let's Go is what it's making me do. And then I can't wait to hear Brandon's review on Arceus when he starts playing that, which I know is going to be great. Brandon's our top tier S rank Pokemon level hunter over here. So he's the master.
I will try to make it as unbiased as possible, but I make no promises.
It's okay. It's okay. We all know that I just bust your chops about it, but we all know that if you put Spider-Man and Zelda in front of me, I'll probably act the same way. So, anywho, Brandon, so that was a little bit of our Pokemon talk. I don't know if you have any final thoughts to say on that, on just random stuff that we're talking about.
I guess I will say, well, you guys have been, well, I've told you guys really, how I've been so focused on shiny hunting and Sword and Shield, or I guess Sword. But for BDSP, I've barely had any motivation to do any shiny hunting in that, which says a lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I think I said last time, I have over 200 shinies in just Sword, and I would always, once I get the shiny, I'll go directly to a new hunt. This one, BDSP, I just don't have the motivation to do it. It's so weird for me.
I don't blame you. So here's my question for you, and this is the final question: do you have extra shinies in those 200s, or is it just single one-offs?
I think I do. Not a lot of them though are duplicates. I may have got doubles just because I found them randomly. Yeah, most of them are just like I get the base form and then I evolve it into the next one just so it counts in the dex. At first I was gonna do it the other way. I was gonna catch like say 3 Charmanders or hash 3 Charmanders, evolve one to Charmeleon, and evolve the other one to Charizard, so I have all 3. But I was like, that's kind of crazy. I'll just evolve them and get the dex registered, and that's it.
Smart. So how much does one have to pay on the shiny market to get some of these extra shinies in his Pokédex? How much does one have to pay?
$1 million.
Fair enough. That's where you put that music.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Good price. Good price.
Yes.
So it's low balling. You're low balling.
Yeah.
Maybe a few more million, but
it's pretty cheap.
Pretty cheap. Yeah. All right. So Brandon, our next topic that I will talk a bit about more in depth in a bit, but we want to talk about. We're talking about Xbox stuff, and now I'm the only guy in our group besides Jesse, but Jesse doesn't own any of the Xbox consoles for a while now. Yeah. But I'm the only guy in the group who actually owns Xboxes, and actually I like it a lot. It's one of my I do like it as a console, and what I always say is I kind of moved away from the whole console war, like, hey, Sony has to win all the time with good games, because I mean when we were younger that was acceptable, but now as an adult it's like I'm going with whatever gives me a good bang for my buck. But I am still a very big Sony PlayStation player at heart. Like it's just very ingrained in me because I have so many fond memories with PlayStation. But I want to ask you officially on the record, no pressure, have you ever owned an Xbox console, or what do you think about Xbox?
So I have owned an Xbox. Well, I guess it was kind of both me and my brothers. I
No, Brandon.
I just looked out and saw your face.
Brandon, you never told me this.
I don't know. This is like the first generation Xbox.
You had Blinks. You had Blinks the Time Cat, didn't you, Brandon? Don't lie to me, Brandon. We're the same type of game, but you had Blinks. Tell the world you had Blinks the game.
I had Blinks.
You had the vacuum cat Blinks guy. You had him.
Honestly, I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Blinks the Time Cat is?
No.
Time Sweeper? No? Mm-hmm. It's actually, look it up. You can put a picture of it.
Okay.
But it's pretty much, it's a platformer. So it's kind of like, like the adventure games we played today, like Crash Bandicoot and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was Microsoft's attempt to kind of have like their own type of mascot. And what you basically did is you suck things up with like a vacuum, and there was other things you can do, like you can rewind time, and it's Blinks the Time Cat. He's a time sweeper. You know what I'm saying? He's just a cat with a vacuum.
Big
cat with a vacuum.
Huh.
Yeah, Blinks the Time Cat. Yeah. So there was that. Okay. So
yeah.
What games did you have for the original Xbox then?
Honestly, not too much. Mostly, I remember Halo 2. I don't remember having Halo 1. That's the weird thing. And I think, honestly, that might have been it. I don't remember anything else.
So how soon after that did you go to a PlayStation?
I don't know, because honestly, we've always had a PlayStation, but I think if I remember right, it was my mother's gift to me and my brother on Christmas morning. She got us an Xbox, so it was kind of both of ours. But I think my brother mostly played it. I played Halo 2 every now and then. And when we found out about the system link thing, where you can have like 6 players,
yeah,
it was over. We were staying at one of our houses playing Halo with 6 people all day.
So you have fond Halo memories that everybody talks about. Wow, this guys, for you guys watching or listening, this is like a moment with Brandon. This is like a very confidential documentary that we're filming right now, or just talking about right now, because Brandon has never in his life ever told me that he had like Halo or has any memories of an Xbox. I thought he was just an Xbox hater and just didn't like it. But here we are, man. Wow, I feel like getting a hot cup of chocolate and just listening to you talk. Just listening to you talk right now.
I think
go ahead, proceed.
I think it was just I think I was caught up in the whole Sony's better than Microsoft war and vice versa.
We all were.
So, I think that's the main reason. But honestly, because I have wanted to try Gears of War. Like 4, I think it was, because that's where I was going to start, because I didn't want to play the other 3. But I don't know, for some reason when I saw Gears of War 3, it's a little too slow for me. Like, it's kind of slow paced compared to like, I don't know, Call of Duty or something. But Gears of War 4 looked pretty cool, so I was like, I want to try that soon. I never did though.
So that's hilarious. So, wow. So Halo 2. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
I think there was a game called Yakuza or something. Or maybe it wasn't Yakuza. Yakuza's the GTA-like game.
Was it Jade Empire?
I do remember that. I don't remember if I actually played it, though. It name sounds familiar. It's something... It kind of looks like Yakuza, but I know it's not Yakuza, like the title.
Ninja Gaiden?
Mm-mm. It was like I think it was a blue alien creature or something, like on the cover, and he had like a double-sided spear or something. I wish I'll try to look it up and see. It's like I don't remember what it is.
You're gonna have to now.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to. So, wow, Brandon, we can end the podcast here and leave it in suspense just because of how beautiful this moment was that you just shared with me.
Yeah.
You've been lying to me your whole life, and I haven't even known you your whole life. I've only known you. Look at that. Okay, he left in everything. He left in everything, guys. He's guilty.
Why?
He's guilty.
Camera, why you
He's
do
guilty.
this? Why you do this to me?
Your camera, even your camera snitched on you. It told on you. It just shut you off. But, so that's ironic. That's so funny. So here's my experience with Xbox before we get into the whole Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard.
Mm.
I had multiple OG Xboxes. I had the thick one, like the big one with the big controllers.
Oh yeah.
And those were that was a hand-me-down from my uncle. and then I had the slimmer one, which he had gotten after he had the big one.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had two of them at one point, and then gave me one, and then we ended up with the slimmer one too, and it would just sit in our drawer and play it.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed playing Blinks, right? Blinks, Time Sweeper, I did.
Yeah.
And Blinks is like the star of the show. We're gonna bring Blinks back.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed playing Blinks, and then I played Halo 1 and 2. Campaign, though. I didn't play anything else.
Oh,
And then I played Jade Empire a little bit, because Jade Empire was made by the people that would later on to go make Mass Effect. So it was made by BioWare. So they made the KOTOR, they made all that stuff. And you can go ahead and get that if you need to.
Okay.
So I had those two, right, Brandon? And then 360 came out, and I was always a Nintendo kid. Until this day, I love Nintendo, but I owned only Nintendo consoles. GameCube, Super Nintendo, you name it, I had it.
Yeah.
And that's where I played, and I never knew anything about graphics. I never knew anything. To me, Nintendo was the standard.
Yeah.
Not knowing there was a whole new world on the other side. But my little brother's friends would always come over, and they would bring their 360, and most of the time they'd just leave it there. They wouldn't come back and get it because they had two. At that time, it was popular to have multiple 360s for some reason. Like, people just had all these different types of 360s in the house. I remember there was one that was like the original, and then you had like the newer ones that came out, like the Elite one and blah blah blah. And it was just like, I was like, all right, well, these kids had multiple ones, so they would just they would just leave them.
Yeah.
So they were cool with us. So I would play like Modern Warfare 2 on there, not online. I never played online until PS3.
Yeah.
But then I'd play all these different consoles, and then fast forward to like more modern consoles. I had a few Xbox Ones. I had Xbox One S. I eventually traded most of them because I wouldn't play it as often. But then come to today, and I have a Series S, not the X. The S is like the lower model.
Oh, yeah.
But it's still next gen.
Yeah.
And I have Game Pass, and I'm totally in love with it, because even though I don't play it as often as I do my PS5, tonight I'm going to go back to it and play Psychonauts 2 pretty much for free, because I pay $15 a month to pretty much grab the game and play it.
Oh, yeah.
Day one. So, moving on to today's news of Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard, I'm not going to lie to you. I had a moment where I was like, well, I guess Microsoft is doing something right. They might make me want to play something, just play their console strictly for whatever else I don't want to buy on the PS5, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just funny because you get to that moment, you're like, man, these people own Bethesda now, which means they're going to have Fallout, they're going to have Skyrim, all the Elder Scrolls, they're going to have all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then now they own Overwatch, which is a game I enjoy. And not as much as Joey. Shout out to Joey. Joey's the king at Overwatch.
Yes.
But Overwatch, they have World of Warcraft, which you enjoy, which is still going to be on PC. That's never going to change, and that's where you play it.
Yeah.
And then all these other big games. So, like, the argument is being made right now that, in a way, Microsoft is being unoriginal, because where Sony kind of has their own in-house studios that make Spider-Man, that make God of War, that make Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West and God of War 2, Ragnarok, and all these other games that are going to come out, that they've used their homegrown talent to make. Last of Us, right? All these big games that we all enjoy.
Yeah.
And then Microsoft was just like, no, I'm just going to go buy somebody that can just make the same game that I just could put on my platform. So there's two arguments being made. There's two types of things. I'm still happy for Microsoft. I'm really enjoying what they're doing. But at the same time, I can see where the other people have a bone to pick, right? Because you would want a company to do their own thing. But I'm just curious, man. Would you ever, I guess my question leads to this, would you ever make a Xbox console your main console again?
Probably not. Not because I don't. I mean, honestly, I would love to. And then honestly, my brother is also been the biggest one talking about. I wish they made World of Warcraft on, or I wish they put World of Warcraft on the consoles. And now it's probably going to happen. Well, I guess it is going to happen at some point. And I was like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool, you know. So that I won't have to, you know, keep emptying or keep deleting data off my computer just to re-download World of Warcraft if I want to play it. You know, let's have it on the console. But I don't know, maybe at some point, because didn't I see an article or something that they're discontinuing Xboxes or something.
So no, those are the older models. So Series S and X are their only consoles at the moment.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So for me, I think what's gonna end up, just jumping off of your thought, I think what's gonna end up happening for me, as much as I navigate between back and forth, I'm more of a disc-based person. So I eventually want to upgrade my S to an X, so I don't have to depend on Game Pass all the time.
Right.
Like if I don't want to pay the $15 a month, but I want to buy a physical copy of the game, I can do that.
Yeah.
But if I don't want to do that, I still have the graphics power, and I can still do whatever I want to do. So. It's really one of those things that I'm still going to do it no matter what. But as far as making it my official one, it's going to take a little bit of time. I have to really see, because I mainly play exclusives. I've noticed that about myself. And because I'm running a little bit on time, the Xbox is great to have because it saves me money on games I don't want to go spend $70 on to trade in or not play, right? But then the games that I do spend money on lately have been games I actually beat and enjoy.
Yeah.
Such as Deathloop, such as, all these other things. But I guess as like a father, there's more bang for your buck going Microsoft for like everything else, and then exclusives on PS5 for like whatever they release. Yeah. Because I'm never getting rid of my Spider-Man for life. But or God of War for life. I mean, literally in my background.
Yeah.
But and Last of Us for life. I mean, come on, I'm forgetting all these crazy ones. But yeah, man, like that's crazy. Like I just really wanted to ask you that question for today's podcast. And for those of you guys listening and watching, you're probably like, what the heck are these two talking about? But it's really just, I really wanted to know, like, if you would ever embrace it being your official one. I think for people like us, we're not getting these consoles for free. There's a lot of hard-earned money to get these things, So really it's sticking to one. I know that's what Joey said.
Yeah.
He wants to do, so... but for me, I have the accessibility to still play the Xbox games. Like I'm trying out Halo Infinite actually as well. So
that one's getting good reviews. It looks pretty cool, to be honest, too.
It is. I can never do the other campaigns, but for some reason this one is like intriguing because I guess I haven't played like a straight up shooter in a while, like a campaign shooter. So it's refreshing. It's refreshing to get away from stuff and just play something new and fresh. So yeah. What?
Sorry. As when you were saying Halo, I just had a random Tell
thought. Me now.
So, like I said before, when we figured out how to do the system link thing, we had 3 people in one room on one Xbox, 3 people in my friend's room on another Xbox. So we had 6 people, or maybe we probably had more than 6, honestly. But we discovered the mode Juggernaut. Where one person is obviously the heavy duty guy. He kills everyone in one hit. The funniest thing happened. It was so quiet in both rooms, and I forgot what map it was. It was like that, like kind of like the dark blue background, and it's like levitating platforms. It was a pretty small map. And the only thing like we heard, like it was like maybe 10 seconds of silence, and then all of a sudden you just hear from the other. I'm in the living room, and you hear from the other room, "Oh my god!" And then next thing you know, you hear a shotgun blast on the TV and that I'm looking on, and then just an X over someone's name.
I love those moments in games.
It was just so quiet from both rooms, and then you just hear that, and then a shotgun blast a second later, and then an X.
Speaking of crazy memories like that, Jesse has a good one. He doesn't remember this one probably, but when I first started playing Call of Duty with him and Steph and everybody, and just all of our little group, Jesse, he had a friend that was playing with us, and we were playing gun game, and Jesse was like, gun game, so you get like different weapons for using it. So Jesse and his friend were going after each other, right? And his friend still had the knife, and Jesse had a revolver.
Oh, jeez.
So he shot a few shots and missed, and Jesse goes, "Oh man, I ran out of bullets." So his friend got really bold and ran up to him, and all you hear is bang, and he just shot.
That's so rude.
And we started cracking up because he was like, "You lied to me." He was like, "Well, you should never listen." So
That is so rude.
So I live for organic moments like that in gaming, which makes me appreciate why we love what we love. So
Yeah.
I think that is a really good note to end on. We'll be talking more about the Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard. We're not insiders that have all this crazy information. Do I think it's a good move? I think it's pretty cool. Am I still going to play on Game Pass? Yes, I am. Am I going to upgrade it to the Series X? Yes, I am eventually. But is it a necessity to switch over consoles? No, because I have everything, so I'll be able to make whatever I want to play it on. And most of my friends are on PlayStation too, so that kind of brings a big factor into it. I'd only have my little cousin on Microsoft. So, yeah, which he's awesome. I'd love to just play with him, but he plays different things than I do. So, but yeah, so good note to end on with the oh my god. Man, we gotta get some of those gaming moments going and just have funny moments like that. Like look, you left. You left. Come back. Come back right now. You come back right now.
There we go.
Come back right now. Was it you that shared that cat video in our group chat and Instagram where he kept going meow and it just
oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. All right, it's time for us to go to bed because we're getting delirious now. But anywho, all right guys. So thank you so much for being with us for another episode of the D-Pad Connect podcast. Like I said before I got to this point in our video, which now, see, I'm completely lost. But we will keep talking about different things. Next week, we hope to talk more about Pokemon and, like we said, our favorites Pokemon in each generation, at least 3 of them. Maybe we'll go up to 5. Who knows? We'll surprise you. But then we are also going to talk more about what keeps unraveling from this news of Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard. We didn't get to talk about the culture at Activision and Blizzard, but it's because I didn't tell Brandon about we were going to talk about this, so I wanted him to read the article first. So we'll study up and we'll have a more elaborate conversation sometime next week. So with that being said, you got to go, Brandon?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. All right. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching the D-Pad Connect podcast. As always, make sure that if you're watching us on YouTube, you like, share, and subscribe. And if you're listening to us on our podcast, if you're listening to our audio format, you can find us on Anchor.fm, Spotify.com, and Google Podcasts. I don't think there's a .com. When you say Spotify, you just say Spotify, right? But
I think both.
You can always... Yeah, you can kind of do both, right? Yeah, there's Spotify.com, of course, but
yeah,
nobody says, hey, go find me on Spotify.com. They say, go find me on Spotify, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Potato.
Yeah.
Tomato.
Tomato.
All right, I need to go to bed. Anywho. Before my kid busts in here again. All right, guys. Well, if you want to listen to our audio format, you can listen to us there. Find us on D-Pad, under D-Pad Connect. And then, of course, if you are part of our Facebook community page, you can always find the links there whenever they go up. And you can just click on it and get right to it. So, Brandon, before we sign off, any final words?
Yes. If your friend tells you he's out of bullets, don't believe him.
Word to the wise. Word to the wise. Don't believe him. And as for me, which I forgot to sign off properly last time, as always, remember to be well and continue to nerd on.
Yes.
I forgot that last time, right?
Yes. Do that.
So, yeah, go do that. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for listening and watching. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Hi.
There you are.
Did you pop that?
She just popped out of the other.
Whoa.
Kaylee.
Where'd you come from? You got magic powers? All right. Well, listen, Dad's recording a podcast, so I need you to go to bed, okay? It's okay. All right, sweetheart? I'm sorry. I'm sorry that Arya's being a bully. Kiss it. All right. I love you. Say bye to Brandon.
Bye, Brandon.
Bye,
She
Kaylee.
said bye, Brandon. He said bye, Kaylee. All right, sweetheart. Go to your room.
I'll let you know when I want to talk to you.
I will have my people contact your people if you want to talk to me. You're gonna let me know if you want to talk to me? All right. Well, I guess we'll find out. She's gonna interrupt totally another time. I feel it coming.
She's too funny.
Well, you can put that in the bloopers, Brandon. But anyway.